To use the import model, we're gonna first start by having an FBX model, which is something like that. And you see I named here the meshes, and we're gonna see meshes in GhosteamLive as well. We're gonna go into the settings, import, and we're gonna hit add model. Let's choose this FBX file, and we can name it however we want here, and give it here where it says 0, we can give it the model ID, which has to be a unique name. So I'm gonna write GTL screen, we're gonna use that later. We're gonna go to the staging area. Staging area is basically where we set up the basic preferences of that model. So we have you see here the mesh list, we have the default size and default rotation. So if you want the screen to appear in a different rotation as a default, we can put that here. And we have a bunch of bank materials. So for example, we can use metal, smooth, wood, and each of these will correspond later when we load it in Resolume. So let's for now, I'll choose a flat color. I can also change that color here. That will be the default color. I'm gonna leave it like that for now. And if I enable the emissive, it will also emit light. And if I enable the texture, it will also work as enable texture. Let's give that convenience. And blink, by the way, will show us which kind of model are we controlling right now. Let's make it concrete, even though that doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna hit back and make sure that you exit the staging area after you're finishing. So this is more like a temporary thing. We don't want to stay there. So this is done. Now we are having the the GTL screen, and we're gonna go to Resolume. And we have, for example, this loop right here from Neon Cube. We're gonna drag an import model effect just below what is already existing there, so not above, below. And we have the model ID, so we're gonna enter GTL screen, which is what we had entered in GhosteamLive. And now we're gonna go back in here, we're gonna see our screen. And you have all the controls directly in Resolume. So we can change the position, we can change the size, we can put it like right there, here. We can control the emissive power. We have some bank light modes, as you can see that because we enabled the emissive on the screen, this is showing light right here. If you would have not enabled it, it would have not shown the light. We also have in import module, we'll have two outputs. So if you go to the advanced output, you see we have Unreal Slice 1 and we have Unreal 2 Slice 2. And those are mapped to two different groups. So for each screen, I can control texture 1, which let's choose two different textures here. And you'll see texture 1, texture 2 is showing me two different things. So you can actually have two different visuals. And what's also cool about it is we can take this and drag another one. And this can be also GTL screen or any other model. GTL screen. And now, let's go this. Now we will have two. And you can basically put as many as you want. So you can make your own scene as busy as you want with GhosteamLive models in any kind of variation. You can have one showing the waves, one showing the texture. And you see in this way, we can now have two models, one showing the logo and one showing the lines. Another way you can use the import loop is with an empty loop. And you see here in the import module deck, we have an empty loop, which is basically just the effect here, which is called an empty loop. You can also drag it manually from the effect. Just make sure to auto add the live camera if you're adding it manually, which is under the sources in Spout. But you can just use ours, which is just kind of like a placeholder. And now, if you want, you can just load the import model on an empty loop. And if we're going to type GTL screen, and now we're gonna go away and back, we're going to have our screen just on its own. And of course here you can also add multiple instances, and that's how you can build your own scene from nothing. Woo!